Ladies and gentlemen, I stand before you today to remind you of a timeless truth. God will make a way no matter where you are right now, no matter what mountain you're climbing or valley you're walking through, you are not alone. The creator, the architect of all life has already gone ahead of you to prepare a path. In the natural world, when there is no way, humans give up. We say it's over, it's impossible, but we serve a supernatural God. As he is not limited by time, space, or human reasoning, the God who parted the Red Sea, the God who brought water from a rock, is the same God who reigns today. When the doors of opportunity seem bolted shut, God doesn't need a key. He creates new doors. But think about it, the very nature of God is innovation. He creates something out of nothing. When you're stuck, when you can't see the next step, that's not the end. It's the perfect setup for God to do what only he can do. But here's where we struggle, the timing. God's way often doesn't align with our timetable. You may feel like you're in a season of delay or disappointment. The job hasn't come through. The relationship is strained. Your dreams feel out of reach. Let me tell you something, God's delays are not his denials. Every delay is preparation. Every obstacle is shaping you. Do you know why? Because the way God makes is not just about getting you to the destination. It's about transforming you into the person who can walk in it. If he gave it to you too soon, you wouldn't be ready, so trust him in the waiting. Faith is the currency of heaven. It is the evidence of things unseen. When you trust God, even when the way is unclear, you release his power into your situation. Then you might not see the full staircase, but God only asks you to take the first step. No, I remember the story of Abraham. God told him to leave his homeland and go to a place, he had never seen. No map, no GPS, no clear instructions. Just a promise, I will make you a great nation. Abraham walked by faith and God fulfilled his word. Christian, but let me tell you this, God's way often requires action on your part. Faith without works is dead. When God instructed the Israelites to march around the walls of Jericho, he didn't tell them to sit and wait for the walls to fall. They had to walk. They had to obey. Your obedience unlocks the provision of God. Test whatever God has placed in your heart to do, whether it's starting a business, reconciling a relationship, or stepping into a new season. Don't let fear or doubt stop you. Take the step, even if it's small. God will meet you in your movement. Finally, remember this, God is not a man that he should lie. If he has promised to make a way for you, he will. Isaiah 43:19 says, see, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland. Thought you may feel like you're in a wilderness today, but God is working. He is carving out a path where there is none. He's providing streams of refreshment in your desert. God is a waymaker. This truth resonates across time and eternity, woven into the very fabric of human existence. From the beginning of creation to the challenges we face today, God has consistently demonstrated his ability to provide solutions where there seem to be none, to create paths through impossible terrain, and to guide his people through the most daunting circumstances. This is not merely a statement of faith, it is a testimony of his divine power, creativity, and unfailing love. Consider the story of the Israelites standing at the edge of the Red Sea. They were trapped with Pharaoh's army behind them and a vast body of water in front of them. From a human perspective, the situation was hopeless. There was no escape, no strategy that could save them. But God, the ultimate waymaker, did not see a barrier. He saw an opportunity. With a word, he parted the sea, creating a dry path through the water. That what was an insurmountable obstacle became a highway of deliverance. This moment in history is a vivid illustration of how God makes a way where none exists. This is the nature of God. He is not bound by human limitations, natural laws, or the constraints of logic. Where we see impossibility, he sees potential. Where we see obstacles, he sees opportunities for his glory to be revealed. This divine attribute is consistent throughout scripture and history, whether it's providing manna in the wilderness, quenching thirst with water from a rock, or raising the dead to life. God's ability to make a way transcends every boundary we can imagine. God's waymaking is not limited to grand miraculous events. It is deeply personal and profoundly relevant to our everyday lives. When we face challenges that feel insurmountable, a broken relationship, a financial crisis, a diagnosis that shakes our world, God steps in. Often his intervention doesn't look the way we expect. He may not remove the challenge, but he will provide the grace, strength, and resource needed to navigate it. This is the essence of his way making, not always removing the mountain, but giving us the tools to climb it. Because when we understand that God is a way maker, it changes how we view our circumstances. Instead of being overwhelmed by obstacles, we can approach them with confidence, knowing that God is at work behind the scenes. He is orchestrating events, aligning resources, and preparing the way forward even when we cannot see it. This is why faith is so crucial. Faith is the bridge that connects our present reality with God's promises. It allows us to trust in his plan even when we don't understand it. God's way making often requires us to take steps of obedience even when the path ahead is unclear. Think of Abraham, who was called to leave his homeland and go to a place he had never seen. He had no map, no clear destination, just a promise from God: I will make you into a great nation. Abraham's faith and obedience activated God's plan. In the same way, our willingness to trust and obey opens the door for God to work in our lives. Sometimes God's way making involves a process of preparation. We may feel stuck in a season of waiting, wondering why God hasn't yet opened the door we're praying for. But in these moments, God is working behind the scenes, shaping us, refining our character, and building our faith. The waiting is not wasted. It is an essential part of the journey, equipping us to step into the fullness of what God has prepared. That's one of the most profound aspects of God's waymaking, is his ability to bring good out of even the darkest circumstance. The cross is the ultimate example. What seemed like the ultimate defeat, the death of Jesus, was in fact the greatest victory. That through his sacrifice, God made a way for humanity to be reconciled to him. This is the essence of God's nature, turning what was meant for harm into something that serves his purpose. Pastor, when we reflect on our own lives, we can often see evidence of God's way making. Think about the moments when you faced a challenge that seemed impossible. Perhaps you were at the end of your rope, unsure of how to move forward. And then out of nowhere, a door opened, a solution appeared, or a person came into your life at just the right time. These are not coincidences. They are the fingerprints of a waymaker at work. God's way making is not always immediate or dramatic. Sometimes it is a slow and steady process requiring patience and perseverance. It can be tempting to grow discouraged when we don't see immediate results. But we must remember that God's timing is perfect. He sees the bigger picture, and his delays are often opportunities for growth and transformation. As we journey through life, we will encounter moments of uncertainty and challenge. It is in these moments that we must hold fast to the truth that God is a way maker. He has been faithful throughout history, and he will be faithful in our lives. As his ways are higher than our ways, and his plans are always for our good. Because when we trust in God as our way maker, we can face the future with hope and confidence. We know that no matter what lies ahead, God is already there, preparing the way. He is not surprised by our challenges or limited by our circumstances. He is the God who makes a way in the wilderness and streams in the desert. In every season of life, whether we are standing on the mountaintop or walking through the valley, we can trust that God is with us. He is guiding us, providing for us, and making a way. Our responsibility is to stay faithful, to keep walking in obedience, and to trust that his plans are good. God's way making is not just about solving problems or meeting needs. It is about drawing us closer to him, deepening our faith, and shaping us into the people he created us to be. As we experience his faithfulness, our trust in him grows, and we become a testimony of his power and love to those around us. No matter where you are today or what challenges you, remember this: God is a way maker. He sees you, he knows your needs, and he is working on your behalf. Trust in him and watch as he makes a way where there seems to be none. Trusting the process is one of the most challenging yet rewarding principles in life. It requires a deep faith, a willingness to embrace uncertainty, and the patience to wait for things to unfold in their proper time. In a world that often demands instant results and immediate gratification, the idea of trusting the process can feel counterintuitive. That the most profound growth, the most meaningful achievements, and the deepest joys often come when we surrender to him rather than fixating on the destination. To trust the process means to believe that every step, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, has a purpose. It is understanding that life is not a series of random events, but a carefully orchestrated journey that shapes us, molds us, and prepares us for what lies ahead. That each moment, each challenge, each triumph contributes to the greater picture that I yet fully see. That there is a reason why seeds are buried in darkness before they grow. The process of germination happens underground, away from the light, in a place where no one can see the transformation taking place. But without that time in the soil, the seed would never become the tree it was destined to be. The same is true for us. Often the most important growth happens in seasons of waiting, in moments when it feels like nothing is happening, when we are unseen and unnoticed. These are the times when our character is being refined, our strength is being built, and our purpose is being clarified. The process is rarely easy. It often involves discomfort, uncertainty, and even pain. There are moments when the weight of waiting feels unbearable, when progress seems slow or non-existent, and when the temptation to give up looms large. But it is in these moments that trust becomes essential. Trust is not passive, it is active. It is choosing to move forward even when the path ahead is unclear. It is deciding to believe in the potential of what is to come, even when you cannot yet see it. I think about the process of climbing a mountain. The summit is the ultimate goal, but the journey to the top is what builds the endurance, strength, and perspective needed to fully appreciate the view. That each step, no matter how steep or arduous, is a vital part of the ascent. Skipping the climb will rob you of the growth that comes from the struggle. Trusting the process means valuing the climb as much as the summit, knowing that the journey is as important as the destination. Life often unfolds in ways that defy our expectations. We make plans, set goals, and create timelines only to find that life has other ideas. These detours and delays can be frustrating, but they are often the very things that lead us to where we are meant to be. The trust in the process means letting go of the need to control every detail and embracing the unknown. It means believing that even the detours have a purpose, that even the setbacks are part of the journey. So one of the greatest challenges in trusting the process is dealing with uncertainty. As humans, we crave clarity and certainty. We want to know what's coming next, to have a roadmap that outlines every step of the journey. Trusting the process requires embracing the unknown, stepping out in faith, even when the path ahead is shrouded in fog. It is learning to be comfortable with discomfort, to find peace in the midst of uncertainty. Trusting the process also requires patience. In a fast-paced world where everything seems to move at lightning speed, waiting can feel like a waste of time. But patience is not passive. It is an active choice to remain steadfast, to keep moving forward, even when progress is slow. Patience is an acknowledgement that some things cannot be rushed, that growth takes time, and that the best things in life often require the most waiting. Then there is a natural rhythm to life, a timing that is beyond our control. Farmers understand this principle where they know that planting seeds is only the beginning. There is a season of waiting before the harvest, a time when the seeds are taking root and growing beneath the surface. To rush this process will be to jeopardize the harvest. Trusting the process means understanding that there is a time for everything, a season for every purpose under heaven. Because when we trust the process, we also learn to trust ourselves. We begin to see that we are capable of more than we imagine, that we have the strength to endure challenges, the resilience to bounce back from setbacks, and the wisdom to navigate uncertainty. That trust in the process is an act of self-belief, a declaration that we are enough, that we have what it takes to see the journey through. The trust in the process is not about ignoring challenges or pretending that everything is easy. It is about acknowledging the difficulties and choosing to move forward anyway. It is about finding meaning in the struggle, growth in the pain, and purpose in the waiting. It is about believing that every step, no matter how small or difficult, is bringing you closer to where you are meant to be. Faith plays a crucial role in trusting the process. Faith is the belief in things unseen, the conviction that there is a greater plan at work. It is the anchor that keeps us steady in the midst of uncertainty, the light that guides us through the darkness. Faith reminds us that we are not alone, that there is a purpose to our journey, and that every step is part of a divine plan. That trust in the process also requires humility. It is the recognition that we do not have all the answers, that we cannot always see the bigger picture. It is the willingness to surrender our plans, our timelines, and our expectations to something greater. Humility allows us to let go of the need for control and to open ourselves to the possibilities that lie beyond our understanding. As we navigate the journey of life, we will inevitably encounter moments of doubt. There will be times when the process feels too hard, too slow, or too uncertain. But these moments are opportunities to strengthen our trust, to deepen our faith, and to grow in resilience. That trust in the process does not never feel in doubt. It means choosing to move forward despite it. The beauty of trusting the process is that it allows us to live fully in the present moment. When we are fixated on the future, we often miss the blessings of today. Trusting the process means finding joy in the journey, appreciating the small victories, and celebrating the progress we have made. It is about living with gratitude even in the midst of uncertainty and finding peace in the knowledge that everything is unfolding as it should. The trust in the process is a lifelong journey. It is not something we master overnight, but a practice we cultivate over time. Each step we take, each challenge we face, and each victory we celebrate teaches us more about what it means to trust. And as we grow in trust, we begin to see that the process is not just about reaching a destination. It is about becoming the person we were created to be. The power of faith is one of the most transformative forces in human existence. It is the ability to believe in something greater than oneself, to trust in outcomes unseen, and to hold on to hope even in the face of overwhelming challenges. Faith is not just a passive belief, it is an active force that propels individuals forward, instills resilience, and opens the door to possibilities that would otherwise remain out of reach. It is the bridge between what is and what could be, a guiding light that illuminates the path even when the road ahead is shrouded in darkness. Faith begins in the heart and mind, often as a seed of belief that grows over time. It does not demand immediate proof or evidence, but thrives in the soil of trust and conviction. Then this is what makes faith so powerful. It transcends logic and reason, reaching into the deepest parts of the soul to provide strength and clarity in moments when everything else feels uncertain. Faith is not the absence of doubt, but the courage to move forward despite it. It is the assurance that there is a purpose to life's challenges and that even in the midst of adversity, there is hope for a better tomorrow. The power of faith lies in its ability to transform perspective. When faced with difficulties, faith reframes the narrative. It allows individuals to see obstacles not as insurmountable barriers, but as opportunities for growth and learning. It shifts the focus from limitations to possibilities, from fear, trust, and from despair to hope. Faith empowers people to look beyond their immediate circumstances and envision a future that is brighter and more fulfilling. This shift in perspective can be life-changing, providing the motivation and determination needed to persevere through even the most daunting challenges. Faith is also a source of inner strength in moments of weakness. When the weight of life feels unbearable, faith provides a foundation to stand on. It reminds individuals that powers that they are not alone, that there is a greater power at work, and that they possess the resilience to endure and overcome. This inner strength is not always loud or visible. Often it is a quiet confidence that whispers you can do this even in the face of overwhelming odds. It is the kind of strength that enables people to keep going when everything in them wants to give up, to rise after every fall, and to hold on to hope when all seems lost. The power of faith is evident in its ability to inspire action. True faith is not passive. It compels individuals to take steps toward their goals, even when the path is uncertain. It encourages movement, progress, and the pursuit of purpose. Faith does not wait for all the answers to appear. It steps forward, trusting that the answers will come along the way. This willingness to act in faith often leads to breakthroughs and opportunities that would not have been possible otherwise. It is a reminder that sometimes the act of believing is what sets the wheels of possibility in motion. But faith also fosters a sense of connection. It unites people with a shared belief in something greater than themselves, creating bonds of trust, support, and understanding. Whether it is faith in God and humanity or in a shared vision, this connection provides a sense of belonging and purpose that is deeply fulfilling. It reminds individuals that they are part of a larger story, that their lives have meaning, and that their actions contribute to something greater than themselves. This sense of connection can be a powerful source of comfort and encouragement, especially in times of difficulty. One of the most profound aspects of faith is its ability to inspire hope. Hope is the fuel that keeps the human spirit alive, and faith is the spark that ignites it. In moments of despair, When the future feels uncertain and the present feels overwhelming, faith provides a glimmer of light. It assures individuals that better days are ahead, that challenge are temporary, and that there's always a reason to keep moving forward. This hope is not naive or unrealistic. It is grounded in the belief that even in the darkest moments, there is a purpose and a plan at work. Faith is also a catalyst for change. It has the power to transform individuals, communities, and even entire societies. Throughout history, people of faith have been at the forefront of movements for justice, equality, and progress. Their belief in a better world inspired them to take bold actions, often at great personal risk, to bring about change. Faith gives individuals to stand up for what they believe in, to persevere in the face of opposition, and to remain steadfast in their convictions. It is a reminder that even the smallest acts of faith can have a ripple effect, creating waves of change that extend far beyond what can be seen. The power of faith is not limited to times of crisis or challenge. It is also a source of joy and gratitude. Faith allows individuals to see the beauty and wonder in the world around them, to appreciate the blessings in their lives, and to find meaning in everyday experiences. It fosters a sense of gratitude for the present moment while also inspiring hope for the future. This balance of gratitude and hope creates a deep sense of contentment and fulfillment, reminding individuals that life is a gift to be cherished and celebrated. Faith is a deeply personal journey, and its power manifests differently for each individual. For some, it is a quiet and steady presence that provides comfort and guidance. For others, it is a bold, passionate force that drives them to pursue their dreams and make a difference in the world. Regardless of how it is experienced, the impact of faith is undeniable. It shapes lives, transforms hearts, and creates a foundation for growth, resilience, and purpose. The power of faith is enduring. It sustains individuals through the ups and downs of life, providing a constant source of strength, hope, and inspiration. It reminds them that they are capable of overcoming challenges, achieving their goals, and making a positive impact in the world. Faith is not a guarantee of an easy life, but it is a promise that no matter what happens, there is always a reason to hope, to believe, and to keep moving forward. Your part in the process is essential, though it often feels small or insignificant in the grand scheme of things. The truth is that every step that we take, every decision you make, and every action you choose contributes to the unfolding of your life and its purpose. The process is not something external or detached. It is deeply personal, requiring your full participation even when you don't fully understand the why or how of it all. It is the intersection of preparation, faith, effort, and surrender, where your role is not just to exist, but to actively engage, to do the work, and to trust in what lies ahead. The process is a journey, and your role is to take responsibility for what is within your control while trusting that the larger picture will come together as it should. It is about showing up every day, no matter how small or insignificant the steps may seem. That whether it's planting a seed, making a decision, or simply persevering through a difficult season, your actions matter. They are the building blocks of the future you are working toward. Even when progress seems invisible, your part in the process is not wasted. Every effort, every moment of patience, every act of perseverance is shaping something greater. There will be times when your part feels unclear. The uncertainty of the process can be unsettling as the human mind craves clarity and direction. Yet it is often in the ambiguity that you learn the most. Uncertainty forces you to trust, to lean into faith, and to remain open to possibilities beyond your immediate understanding. Your role in the process may not always be to know the next step, but to take the one directly in front of you with courage and commitment. It's in these moments that you learn to trust not only the process, but also yourself and your ability to navigate through it. Patience is a cornerstone of your part in the process. The world often demands speed, instant results, and immediate gratification, but the process rarely operates on your preferred timeline. Good growth, healing, and success take time, and your willingness to be patient is a vital aspect of your contribution. Patience is not passive, it is an active engagement with the present while trusting the timing of the future. It is choosing to remain steadfast, to keep moving forward, and to trust that the process is unfolding as it should, even when you cannot see it. Effort is another crucial element of your role. The process requires work, dedicated, consistent, and purposeful action. It is not enough to simply hope or wish for outcomes. You must actively participate in bringing them to fruition. Effort means showing up even when you don't feel like it, pushing through obstacles, and staying committed to your goals despite setbacks. It is in the doing, the trying that you play your part. That the process rewards those who are willing to put in the work. Not because effort guarantees immediate results, but because it builds the discipline and resilience needed to sustain success. So part in the process also involves self-awareness. You must be willing to examine yourself honestly, to recognize your strengths and weaknesses, and to confront the fears and doubts that hold you back. The process often requires you to grow, to stretch beyond your comfort zone, and to let go of what no longer serves you. This kind of growth is not easy, but it is necessary. That self-awareness allows you to align your actions with your values, to make choices that reflect your purpose, and to stay true to who you are while navigating the journey ahead. Flexibility is another key aspect of your role. The process is rarely linear, and the path forward often includes unexpected twists and turns. Your ability to adapt, to embrace change, and to remain open to new possibilities is essential. Flexibility does not mean abandoning your goals. It means finding new ways to achieve them when circumstances shift. It is about trusting that detours are not dead ends, but opportunities for growth and discovery. By remaining flexible, you allow yourself to flow with the process rather than resist it, making it easier to navigate challenges and opportunities as they arise. Faith plays an integral role in your part of the process. While effort and action are necessary, there will always be elements of the journey that are beyond your control. Faith is what bridges the gap between what you can do and what you must trust will happen. It is the belief that your efforts are not in vain, that the challenges you face have a purpose, and that the process is leading you exactly where you need to be. Faith allows you to let go of the need to control every detail and to trust in the holding of the journey. God's role in the process is deeply personal, yet it also connects you to something greater. The process is not just about achieving goals or reaching destinations. It is about becoming. It is about the person you are growing into as you navigate the journey. Every step you take, every challenge you overcome, and every lesson you learn shapes you into the person you are meant to be. This transformation is not a byproduct of the process, it is the process. Your part is to embrace this growth, to be willing and change, and to allow the journey to refine and define you. At its core, your part in the process is about trusting yourself, trusting the journey, and trusting the greater plan at work. It is about letting go of the need to have all the answers and embracing the mystery of the process. This kind of trust is not easy, but it is liberating. It frees you from the burden of trying to control everything and allows you to focus on what truly matters, showing up, doing the work, and trusting that everything will fall into place in its own time. Guide through it all. Your part in the process is to remain steadfast. The journey will have its ups and downs, its moments of clarity and confusion, its victories and setbacks. Now, there will be times when the process feels slow or stagnant, when progress seems invisible, and when the temptation to give up looms large. But it is in these moments that your role becomes most important. Perseverance, patience, and faith are the tools that will carry you through. Your willingness to stay the course even when it feels difficult is what allows the process to unfold. That's your part in the process is vital, not because it guarantees specific outcomes, but because it is what makes the journey meaningful. Every step you take, every effort you make, and every moment of trust you cultivate is a contribution to the greater picture. The process is not just about reaching a destination, it's about the person you are becoming along the way. By showing up, doing the work, and trusting in what lies ahead, you honor your role in the process and open the door to the possibilities it holds. God's promises are a bedrock of hope, a source of unwavering assurance for those who believe. These promises found in the scriptures and woven throughout the fabric of life offer a stability that is unshaken by the storms of the world. In a world where things can often feel uncertain, where the future is filled with unknowns, God's promises stand firm and constant, never wavering or failing. They are a reminder that no matter the circumstances, there is a divine plan that cannot be thwarted, and that the Creator's words will always ring true. From the very beginning, God has been a promise keeper. His word is not something that comes and goes like human promises, often broken or forgotten. His promises are eternal, immutable, and irrevocable. That whether it is the promise of his presence, his provision, or his protection, God's promises are always faithful and never fail to deliver. They are not conditional upon our actions, nor do they depend on the changing tides of life. They are rooted in the character of God, who is steadfast and unchanging, a firm foundation in which we can place our trust. That God's promises provide a sense of peace in the midst of turmoil. When life seems overwhelming, when challenges arise and hope seems distant, God's promises remind us that he is still in control. The promise that he will never leave us nor forsake us is not just a comforting sentiment, it is a life-altering truth. It assures that even in our darkest moments, we are not abandoned. We are not left to navigate the struggles of life on our own. God's presence is with us always, and that promise gives us the strength to face whatever comes our way. God's promises also offer guidance. In a world that can often feel chaotic and confusing, his promises direct our steps and illuminate the path before us. When we do not know which way to go, when the decisions we face seem insurmountable, God's promises are a lamp to our feet, lighting our way with his wisdom. The promise that he will lead us with his eye upon us means that we are never lost. That we can trust that he will guide us not through the lens of uncertainty, but through the lens of his perfect will. We may not always understand the path he takes us on, but we can trust that his promises will never fail and that he is leading us towards something good. In addition to guidance, God's promises offer provision. The Bible is filled with assurances that God will provide for his people, whether in times of need or abundance. These promises are not just about physical provision, though that is certainly part of it. They are about God providing for our every need, whether spiritual, emotional, physical. The promise that he will supply all our needs according to his riches and glory reminds us that we are never lacking in what we truly need. And even in times of scarcity, we can be confident that God is able to provide for us in ways that exceed our expectations. His provision is not just about meeting our basic needs. It is about blessing us abundantly so that we can be a blessing to others. God's promises also extend to his protection. In a world filled with uncertainty, we often feel vulnerable, unsure of what the next moment holds. Yet God promises to be our refuge and fortress, our shield and stronghold. His protection is not just physical, but it extends to every area of our lives. He promises to protect our hearts and mind, guarding them against fear, anxiety, and the struggles that can so easily overwhelm. The promise of his protection gives us confidence to face the challenges of life, knowing that we are sheltered under his mighty wings. His love surrounds us, his power upholds us, and his faithfulness keeps us safe. That's one of the most beautiful aspects of God's promises is their faithfulness. While human promises are often broken or unfulfilled, God's promises never fail. His word is true, and he will never go back on his word. When God makes a promise, it is a guarantee. We can rely on it because he is the ultimate promise keeper. His faithfulness is a reflection of his nature. He is not a man that he should lie, nor the son of man that he should change his mind. Tell him what he has said he will do. This unwavering faithfulness is a source of great comfort and assurance, especially when we face moments of doubt. No matter how long it takes, no matter the obstacles we encounter, God's promises are certain and they will come to pass in his perfect timing. Furthermore, God's promises remind us of his love. At the heart of every promise is the assurance that we are deeply loved by our Creator. His promises are not out of obligation. They are an expression of his boundless love for us. Test when we feel unworthy, when we question our value or our place in the world, God's promises remind us that we are his beloved. He has chosen us. He has called us by name, and his promises are a reflection of that eternal love. These promises are a testament to his desire to see us thrive, to experience his peace, and to live out the fullness of the life he has designed for us. God's promises also call us to action. While his promises are certain, they often require a response on our part. We must trust in them, stand firm in them, and act in faith, knowing that he is working on our behalf. The promise of salvation is a gift, but it requires us to accept it. The promise of peace is available, but it requires us to trust in his timing. The promise of restoration is offered, but it requires us to let go of the past and walk forward in faith. God's promises are not passive. They are invitations to step into a deeper relationship with him, to trust in his word, and to align with his will. About the Bible, we see countless examples of God's promises being fulfilled. From the covenant with Noah to the promise of a Savior through Jesus Christ, God's track record of faithfulness is unblemished. And each promise is a testament to his integrity and his desire to bless his people. These promises remind us that God's plan is always at work, even when we cannot see it. His promises offer us hope, strength, and encouragement as we navigate life's journey. Tests when we feel overwhelmed, when we feel lost, or when we wonder if we can continue, God's promises never fail. They are anchor for our souls, a source of stability and trust in the midst of uncertainties. God's promises are more than just words on a page. They are living, active assurances that guide, sustain, and uplift us. They are reminders of his unfailing love, his perfect provision, his constant protection, and his unwavering faithfulness. They are the foundation upon which we build our lives, the source of strength when we are weak, and the reason we continue to hope even in the face of adversity. And no matter challenges that lie ahead, God's promises never fail, and in them we find the courage to face tomorrow with confidence, knowing that he is with us always. So hold on to hope, keep walking in faith. God is not finished with your story. The detour is not your destiny. The delay is not your defeat. God will make a way, not just any way, but the perfect way, the way that leads to purpose, peace, in his glory. Stand firm, trust him, and watch as he does exceedingly, abundantly more than you could ever ask or imagine. Thank you.